realize I'm muted. I'm saying thank you everybody. Thank you everyone for coming back and stopping by. I do realize that the show is late. I'm so sorry guys. Listen, I have this popsicle here and I don't want nobody to come for me. I know we on this only thing that is settling my stomach. I promise you here. I don't know what's going on. I honestly do not know what's going on. But I do know there's something floating around my school. But I went and I did some witnessing today. And guys, you guys know with the signaling. I do know witnessing is, hey, I said what I said. I said nothing but love your way. I do know, when you're witnessing, you're talking to different people, you're engaging. I was doing a couple of, I was praying for a few individuals today. And I do know that there's germs floating around. So I washed my hands, after I got in the car. Then I started feeling weird, And by the time I got away from Family Dollar, I was like dragging. And then I just started getting really queasy and dizzy and nauseated. And I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? By the time I made it to my house, I'm telling you, I was ready to fall out. I couldn't do nothing but put the stuff down on the couch and go lay down. Do you hear what I say? Oh my God, I got so sick, and even now, I feel the nausea is going away, but I feel like I got a brick or something in my. I don't know. I know the stomach flu is going around in my job. I have no clue, guys, what it is, but I felt so bad. But I really want to do this show, dog. So I came out here. I'm like, we got to do this show because I just want to do it. So I waited till I started feeling better, and we're here. But I am sipping on this popsicle because I don't know. It's settling in my stomach, y'all. Okay, so y'all bear with me. Maybe it's the ice. All right, so let's get into the show. All right, guys. So you guys know, we had this thing called the Essence Festival, right? This thing called the Essence Festival. We have it every year, and it's like a African Americans mecca, right? And I want to put the link in the chat so you guys can if you want to come up and if you want to, express your opinion, you are welcome to do so. So we're going to do that. Let's do that right now. Okay. You said okay. Joshua said okay. I'm about to go watch the replay. All right. That's cool. You can, Josh. Love you. All right. Here's the link, guys. And I'm going to give you a little bit of background, and then I got a little couple of clips what people are saying about the Essence Festival. And now I will tell you guys that I'm kind of like twofold on this thing because my husband is Nigerian. Like, okay, so I'm kind of like 50-50, but then I do understand African Americans and that the Essence Festival was devised to celebrate the African American culture, right? All right, so let's get into it. So this is coming from the Observer. Shout out to them. Hey Vaughn, I said nothing but love your way, baby, because you deserve it. Okay, I said what I said. SBK, Scorpio Mama. Wait a minute. Before we even get started, y'all, excuse me. Before we even get started, I got something to do. You know what? I can't even do it because I haven't gotten that. I haven't gotten a subscription yet. But guess what? I got some graphics coming y'all way for Vaughn, Shawanda, Scorpio Mama. I got some graphics coming your way because you guys sold into the channel. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. All right, so they're talking about cultural tension over Pan-African representation. Now let's get into it. So before we get into that, I want to make sure I give y'all the correct information about the CEO of Essence. Something that you guys need to realize, and this will help you understand. He said, "Do not call me." Okay, don't call your name. All right, I won't. All right. Um, Something that you guys need to understand. Let me do this right quick, guys. So while you guys are upset or a bit concerned, this is why this is happening. Okay. All right. What is going on? I promise you. All right. Hold on, y'all. Oh my goodness. All right, so the owner of Essence Magazine is the owner of Essence Venture. And Essence Ventures, all of his conglomerates, the magazine, the festival, all of that. You said, what's wrong, Scorpio Mama? Who did? All of that is under Essence Venture LLC. This is led by Richulu Dennis. Richulu Dennis as its founder and chairman, according to Forbes. So he runs the Essence Festival. All right, so who is this dude? Who is this dude? Let's talk about who he is, guys. And then the CEO of Essence is the lady. And I kind of like her because she has so much swag. You know what I'm saying? I love her style. I love how she dressed. I love it. She got that swag. All right, let's see. The CEO of Essence. I want to pronounce her name correctly. It's Caroline A. Wanda. Okay, she also serves as the president and CEO of Essence Venture, which owns Essence magazines and other related brands. Okay, so I'm finna get. You know what? And I think I also saved that other thing to my home story. I wanted to get into that. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Hold on, y'all. All right. So here's the deal. So the CEO of Essence and the owner of Essence, they are both of African descent. And when I say African descent, I'm talking about he is South African. Okay, and so what he's trying to do is he's trying to bridge the gap from South Africa to with African American. He's trying to merge the two during the festival. And the uproar is that African Americans is saying, no, hey, we don't want that. This was originated and designed to celebrate Western African Americans and their culture. Okay. And so it is a big, big war. It is a big, big stink, and they're not even feeling it. And so now, oh, thank you so much, Ron. And so now they're saying they're getting ready to protest Essence 2026. Okay. So it says the future of the Essence Festival. The Essence Festival is a 3-day celebration of Black culture and has been a staple of New Orleans summer season for decades, drawing visitors from around the world. Most recent earlier this month, though, sparking several controversies, including scheduling, setup, partnership. Organizers say that they are listening to the concerns that the festival will need more local support to be successful. We will see several views on what it would take to make the Essence a winner. Again, here's what they said. Um, He said, I was a Essence Festival fan for decades, along with my beloved pack of girlfriends. And then we know that you this will be like a girl trip, and there's actually a movie called Girl Trip. Of course, with Queen Latifah and them, and they made their journey to the Essence Festival in New Orleans. It says first I was 10 in the early 2000s, and we all fell in love. Essence Festival Executive Vice Chairman speaks on issues. We're listening to everything. So the Essence Festival, which ended Sunday, is a celebration of Black culture, and it launched in New Orleans in 1995. More than 3 decades later, it is still going. However, they are getting ready to go into a new approach. So they want to add South African features to the Essence Festival, and what they did to this year was kind of add like a test me or pilot to some of the features to the festival, and they got a negative response by the community. Okay, so now Richard Dennis, he responded to this criticism of the Essence Festival. He said one of the biggest events in the Black American, one of the biggest events in Black America is the annual Essence Festival of Culture. Typically, it's held in New Orleans. Of course, we said that. He said typically it brings out all of the aunties in matching skirts, rhinestones, influencers, vendors, artists, and entertainers for a long weekend of performances, Black enterprise culture. Any event known to bring out tens of thousands of people is bound to have some issues somewhere along the line. Now, I will say that okay, yeah, I get that, but not to this extent, not to this magnitude. Black African Americans were really, really upset about it. Um, is that the festival seemed louder than ever with participants, which I disagree because there was tons of video footage where they were waiting for the concert, and then they said it showed up late, it started late, and then the arena was half empty. Now, I ain't never seen the festival. I have never seen the Essence half empty like that, but it was. Um, it said he said and those on social media claiming that the production vibe experience didn't match the experience expectations was set by years past are just lying. Because typically when a band gets to hit a hit with bad press, they provide a press release that speaks around the issues without acknowledging what went wrong. So he's speaking, kind of alluding to Lauren Hill. Okay. So it started when Laurel Hill had a production issue, delaying her show by an hour. Media outlets reported that Hill performed to a few hundred people deep into the night, and chalked it up to Hill's reported issues with particularly time. Essence, however, jumped in front of the narrative and took accountability for the production issue, making sure that it was clear that Hill wasn't a problem. A notable step towards accountability from such a large brand, which Hill appreciated. Um, that wasn't the only complaint, Essence. That wasn't the only complaint. All right, so I like how they're trying to spin this. All right, hold on one second. So, hold on. There's one more article I want to get up before I get to the meat of this because they're spinning around. They're trying to address certain things that went wrong with the Essence Festival as far as the music and the food, but that's not it. That's not why African Americans are pissed off. For lack of a better word. Hold on. Okay, so listen to this guy. Essence Venture and NCAC forged global culture partnership at Lagos stakeholder launch. Now I want you to pay attention and listen to this guy. This is the reason why a lot of African Americans have issues. Now, me personally, because my husband is Nigerian, I don't. And I am all for sharing. Okay. You said Stephanie Mill performed that she was very dissipated, pointed and spoke out. I know, I saw it, Squirt. I saw it. I know. Listen to this. NCAC forged global culture partnership at Logo stakeholder lunch. Okay. The Federal Ministry of Art and Culture and Creative Economic along the NCAC and Essence Venture co-host a luncheon setting the stage for global collaboration of Black culture. Now, why is this luncheon so important? Because what they're doing is they're doing a soft introduction to us and letting us know that moving forward, Essence Festival will have a more pan-African feel to it because this man here is South African. And he's trying to change the trajectory where South Africans are included now in the Essence Festival. And so they started offering, they started with the food, right? They started introducing South African food vendors there this year. And the uproar, you would have thought they were offering you guys crack. You know, we don't want no jollof rice. We don't, I mean, come on. I mean, y'all made such a big stink of it. I'm all for merging cultures. At the end of the day, we are from Africa. We have African descent. Why not introduce that into something that is African American? It's not like, I feel like it's not like they're taking it away, but they are adding to it. However, African Americans are saying what's ours is ours and don't mess with it. You said I'm not from Africa, Squirrel. Your descendants is from Africa. You got a percentage of African blood in you, Squirrel. Okay. It says on Sunday, September the 15th, the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, and Creative Economic, alongside the National Council for Arts and Culture, NCAC, and Essence Ventures, owner of Essence Festival, Essence Magazine, the Premier Media, Commerce, and all these other people, Black people, co-hosted a Sunday lunch, which with the industry stakeholders. All of these representatives was there. It said the Essence Festival Culture held an annually in New Orleans. It's a large festival hosting over 500,000 individuals. And so Nigeria, as a local country, due to its rich talent, history, and traditions, entrepreneurship heritage, and significant percentage of Black developers partnered with them. It says the event featured leaders from multicultural Africa Magic, Paramount, Trace, Pop Central, Meta, NBA Africa. A lot of companies from Africa were there. And so they partnered together to say, next year, get yourself together. This is how it's going to look. So social media went nuts. Let me show you a couple of clips of what they are saying.
I have not been to Essence since Susan Taylor stepped down.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Receipts with Braille, and today we got to talk about the Essence Festival and how it done turned into everybody's festival, except foundational Black Americans. Yeah, I said it. Go grab your tea. Go grab your beignet. And let's get into this spicy jambalaya of a situation because it got the girls fighting. The girls are tussling from New Orleans to Nairobi. Let's get into it. First off, I want to say when I say FBA, I am not referring to any specific group, cult, or anything other than people whose ancestors are from this country. That's it. That's all. Don't associate me with nothing that don't got nothing to do with me. All right. Now let's keep it moving. So boom. So for those who don't know, the Essence Festival was, I'm gonna be real with you because
I'm not from no Africa. What is Jollof anyway? I don't like that. Y'all talking about boycotting them just like you did Target. When let me stay on topic this time. Because the problem with us is thinking shit is ours when it's not. This is the owner of Essence. Not the program director, but owner. I'm not mad at the Essence Festival. Who wants to come and see Meg Thee Stallion and them twerking and singing WAP? I'm just glad that my African brothers and sisters have someone in the industry with that kind of pull who can get them an annual event of this magnitude and prestige.
Got people who are not of the culture, they share melanin, do they want to understand the dynamics and demographics of who they are servicing?
Ain't that sound crazy though? Imagine if somebody buy your house and then you going back and trying to tell them what to do with the house they bought. It ain't yours no more. That man know who he's servicing. You just didn't know. Still, I encourage you all to go and have close contact with blacks outside of your familiar experience. Those are your brothers and sisters, and you are connected for all times in the way that you walk, in the way that you talk. For 400 years, they couldn't beat the African out of you. But now they learn that with that bag, they can buy the African out of you. But if there's one takeaway, is that y'all need to stop expecting things to reflect you when the ownership does not reflect you.
Okay, now don't that make sense? I'm sorry. Don't that make sense? Listen, what did you all expect? I mean, for if you want to be mad at the CEO, I mean at the owner, I mean for years he was gaslighting y'all and got y'all money. He called that festival for the culture, for the people. And he knew, and he was pandering to us, and we thought it was ours. And the whole time, you know what I'm saying? He was South American. Now he wants to reflect his own heritage in his own thing. That's what's really happening here. Did y'all really think that the owner of Essence was that lady with the long braids going to the back, down her back? No. She was not the owner. That's why black folks need to do their research. You understand what I'm saying? And so now there's a big uproar. But my thing, I want to say this so bad. We have a bad habit as black. You say you black Cherokee Indian lawyer. Well, you said that the other day, Score. We have a bad habit of not doing our research. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, we need to understand that if our skin look like this, we need to come together as one, regardless if you're from Africa, if you're from America, if you're from Europe, wherever your lineage is, our skin look like this. And at the end of the day, the world treats us the same because our skin look like this. Unless you got a bag, you're going to be treated the same. And sometimes when you got a bag, you still treated the same. So we need to be coming across the sea and embracing each other. Now, I will tell you this, that there are some South Africans, there are just Africans in period, who look at African Americans like we are dumb Americans, that we're not really African. That they are out there. They are out there. They are out there. They are out there. All black folks is not from Africa. Score. Score. Listen to me, babe. I'm not saying all of us was born in Africa, but there are the lineage. If you go far enough back, somebody ancestors was in the bush, okay, and they migrated either to Europe or they migrated to the Western hemisphere. Okay. You also had some out there. They also went to Asia. Okay. But to be honest, all of us came from the motherland. If you want to get technical. But here's the deal. African Americans, they feel like their real estate is being taken. They feel like they're one, and somebody went as far as to say that they're one thing, that the one thing the African Americans had in representation here in America was the Essence Festival, that they don't have a lot of things that represent them, but they can really depend on the Essence Festival being one thing that really kind of represent them, and they feel like it's being taken away. And I'm saying to myself, how? This man is black. Yeah, he's from Africa, but he's still black. You know, one of the things that my husband said one day, he had met my boss, and they were, you know, he was on the FaceTime, and he said, "Thank God she's one of us." And I was shocked, because I always thought that, you know, I was always told that Africans really didn't look at us as being African, being black. They just looked at us like a lower class version, you know, of them. But he said one of us. So there is some Africans who are all inclusive of African Americans. Now, I understand. I don't make a difference between black individuals who were born in Africa and black individuals who were born here. To me, we are all one and the same. You know what I'm saying? We may have different traditions and different dialect, but we are cut from the same cloth. That's just how I feel. Now, you may not share the same ideology. You may not share the same belief set, but we are all cut from the same cloth. You know what I'm saying? It's just that some of us got on the boat and some of us didn't take the trip. That's just how I feel. You understand what I'm saying? And so I embrace it. And it could be just because of who my husband is and the experiences that I have been and the places that I've been, that I am all inclusive. And so I am open-minded to it. And I feel good about it. And I ain't gonna lie. This is one time where I'm actually intrigued and interested in going to the Essence Festival next year. Because as African Americans, we need to broaden our horizons and include our brothers and sisters overseas, because they struggling and fighting just like we are. But the African American community here in America feel like something is being stolen away from them. And it's all because y'all really didn't know who the CEO and who the owner was. That's all it is. Because had you knew, would you be this supportive? I just want to know. Had you known who the CEO was and his lineage, would you be so supportive? All right, so let's see what Stephanie Mills said about this year's Essence festival, because Scorpio Mama so eloquently brought it up. Let's get her comments directly. All right, Stephanie Mills shared a strong worded open letter expressing her disappointment with the organization of the 2025 Essence Festival of Culture. She cited issues with production, logistics, and overall professionalism, which she felt negatively impacted her performance and those of other artists, according to several entertainment news outlets. Mills described the backstage environment as chaotic, stressful, and technical difficulties and delays. She called for a thorough review of the festival operations to address these issues for future events. So it had nothing to do with the theme of the festival, but all of the mechanics and the technical issues and the professionalism of it. All right. Now, there's one individual that I do want to I want you guys to hear, okay? Because she does a really good breakdown and kind of advocates for African Americans here in America concerning the change. So let me pull that up. I'm really interested and intrigued by this. I really, because my thing is, I mean, I understood that there was some type of level divide, but I never knew that African Americans here and it really felt like that about us Africans overseas. I just didn't know that. Hold on, let's see. All right, take a listen to this, guys. Oh, let me turn it up.
Something. I don't want you to think out of emotion. I want you to really just think about what I'm saying and really listen to everything I have to say before you respond. As a collective, what does the Black community have? I want you to really think about that. What is something as a community we have ownership in, stock in, collectively? Because see, from where I'm sitting, Black America owns nothing. We have the culture, yes we do. We have the ideas, yes we do. But are we benefiting off that? And the answer is no. No. We're not benefiting off of it, and that is my total argument. I'm not trying to chastise Black people. If anything, I'm trying to enlighten, encourage, spark a fire. Because when Miss Tabitha read that article, it said that we were the spenders, meaning we are the consumers. We are only making other people rich. With $1.4 billion, we was making other people rich. Instead of circulating that type of money amongst ourselves. That is my only argument. And I hate that we deflect sometimes to what other groups are doing, but guess what? They get it. They know true power is coming together, unifying. That's what they know. They put each other on. We don't do that for each other. We backbite, we destroy, we talk about, we focus on everything else but trying to build generational wealth for ourselves. That's the difference. Ain't no sense of getting mad at the other groups because they get it. They get it. And guess what? These folks do not turn an eye when we say we gonna boycott. Nobody cares. Because you know why? They know we won't wake up and unify with each other, create our own, because all we would do after we boycott, we chant a little bit, all we gonna do is go somewhere else and make them rich. Prime example, we went from Target to Costco's, all because they said what? Costco's has a DEI policy. Ain't that something? Making them rich. Y'all do know people can be still prejudiced towards black people with the DEI policy, right? Again, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't.
And I kind of agree with her. I kind of agree with her. I kind of agree with her. You know, we do a lot of spending, you know, energy. You know what I'm saying? Being appalled and being, oh my God, you know. And listen, I'm all for supporting the cause and advocating for ourselves and advocating for our voice. Do you understand? I heard you, Scorp. You said you get caved in and went on with them, huh? And it backfired, huh? I'm all for advocating. I really am. But you cannot tell this man what to do with his own business. I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of African Americans feel bamboozled. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute. We thought that this was our thing. This man saw an angle. He saw that you guys were coming together. He know that y'all want to that the Afro-American culture, the Afro-American cause, the Afro-American drive was a marketable thing that we all needed somewhere to run to and celebrate. We all needed a central place to feel black. We all wanted to lift each other up, and that was a marketable thing. And he did it year in and year out. And she's not lying. And we made him rich. Being black, I'm so black. That's a marketable thing. Because there's a person like me that's looking to push and support somebody who's talking about being black and supporting the culture. And he turned that into a market. And his payoff come every year, all year. You know what I'm saying? Remember Jet Magazine? You know what I'm saying? What was the other magazine? We saw it in the barbershops. We bought them because we want to support our own. Not realizing, not understanding who is the owner. Who, you know what I'm saying? Come on.
Essence Fest was this year. I'm hearing three reasons. I'm hearing, well, not three reasons. I'm hearing three issues. One, the jollof rice versus the jambalaya cook-off. Yeah, black folks are like, why is jollof even in the building? The other thing that I am hearing is, where are the Black American content creators? I wasn't there, but there's a whole lot of complaints about there not being any Black American social media influencers or content creators in the spotlight at Essence Fest this year. The other thing I'm hearing, where were all of the New Orleans food vendors? Where were they? Where were they? I saw a couple of vendors had to put out notices that they were not going to be at Essence Fest this year. They have been there every year for however many years, but for whatever reason, this year they didn't get an invite.
Hey, Scorp.
Mm-hmm. Those are some pretty significant things.
Hey, Miss Bamsey. I love you. So nothing but love you, right?
Added to the flop of Essence Fest this year.
No.
There wasn't very much Black American in the biggest Black American
What's up,
Festival
girl?
of the Year.
So I'm gonna stop it right quick. So Scorp, what's your take on it?
I totally disagree. Black
Okay.
essence always have been stigmatized as being black essence. Just like if uh the Chinese came in and tried to be the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like uh we get ready to have can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We getting ready to have a gay pride parade. That's just like me going down there to mix in. It what's what that was built on the culture of black
So
and
but do
people.
you
They
understand
trying
that
to
this
wait a minute. They trying to
okay.
change the problem. Everybody trying to change what's already been established. Certain things you just can't change. Go ahead.
So the thing is that we have to understand that this is this man's conglomerate. This is this man's business.
Well,
And I'm gonna tell the truth.
go
I
ahead.
didn't know that he was from South African. I didn't know he was African at all.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? I thought the owner of Essence was an African American who was born and
He
raised here.
he just bought it. He ain't been that long that he bought into it, shall I say?
Okay.
Because I don't know, Essence sold it or what have you. He have every right to do that, but he's gonna suffer the consequences because ain't no way that anybody can come in here and try to change our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And if we fall for it, then so be it. But we have people that stand on what they stand on, and I stand on what I stand on.
Mm-hmm.
I must say that I feel like you feel strongly about because your husband is from Africa. My ex was from Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
Since I've been divorced, I've did a lot of studying and finding out that they never liked us. None of them. None of the island people like us. Even the migrants, they don't like us. We didn't know that, but we're so susceptible for accepting people. We might have heard it through the grapevine, but we didn't believe it because we're so accepting.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to stop being so accepting of things. Go ahead.
I
Hello, chat.
kind of
How y'all doing?
understand that. They can't believe that you're on the panel. That's what it is.
Come on, somebody.
Come on, somebody. My score shows up for me. You understand what I'm saying? Don't y'all listen.
I was pissed though. I was pissed.
I know that you are score, but
No,
this
I
is
said
the thing.
were.
You were okay, good. So listen, I'm an all-inclusive type of person. I say let's give him a chance. Let's see how Essence 2026 looks. You understand what I'm saying? Let's see how the merger and the mixture looks.
What you gonna? I'm sorry.
I'm hoping that he does not exclude the African American cultural experience that Essence is known for. But I hope that he does a great job in merging the two together. That's what I'm hoping. Why are you so quiet, Score?
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay.
I mean, we have to learn to stand for something or we fall for anything. We've never stood our ground on most things, and this got to be one of them.
Okay. So you with the boycott.
Yep.
All right, so let's finish listening what Tabitha had to say concerning this.
Every year, I've seen videos where at the concerts are usually packed every night, packed out. Empty this year. There were people there, but nothing like it was in the past. One of the major complaints that I've seen on my timelines is the vibe was off. It felt different. The air was different. Well, grab yourself a cup of coffee. I came across a picture post over on TikTok, and that led me down a rabbit hole. Get your coffee. Let's go for a walk, shall we? I'm going to call him Mr. Dennis because I don't want to butcher his name. Y'all know I got a Southern American tongue. Yeah, so I'm going to call him Mr. Dennis. This is Mr. Dennis. He is the owner of Sundial Products and Shea Moisture. I remember him from when he purchased Shea Moisture. He now owns Essence Ventures. What falls under Essence Ventures? Essence Magazine. Mr. Dennis is not Black American. I believe he comes from Lagos, Nigeria. So he's Nigerian. If I'm incorrect, feel free to correct me down in the comment section respectfully. I don't deal with disrespect over here. I block. This is the CEO of Essence. Her name is Caroline Wanga. And baby, she is a whole mood. Looking her up over on the Google, baby, she is walking art. Every outfit, the hair is together, the specs are on point, the outfit is bold, loud, beautiful. Love it. She is the CEO of Essence. Okay? She's not Black American. She's
Okay, so to answer your question, Vaughn, her name is Tabitha. She's a content creator on TikTok.
from Kenya. Okay, so the top owner is from Nigeria. The CEO is from Kenya, Africa. Okay, I went on over to Essence Ventures because in my research I saw that Mr. Dennis owns Essence Ventures. Okay, and so I went on over to Essence Ventures, and right on the home screen, they provide all of their targeting right there on the home screen, right? And you see that little white arrow down on the right of your screen where it says access to $1.4 trillion in buying power, in AA buying power? That's our money, Black American.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Did you hear her say $1 trillion? $1 trillion is Black money, African American money that this man has access to via the magazine, via the festival, via any African centric product that he's selling under Essence Ventures. And he's been amassing that since he owned it, but there were previous owners, as Scorpio Mama said, and as Tabitha said, that I was remiss to add in the beginning, but I was aware of it. That they had access to. This was not a this was not just off a whim. This man was strategic when he bought this company, and he is assuming that he will now have access to this type of money. You know, it was very appealing. So you know what I'm saying? He bought the company. I am saying that as African Americans, we have to be more aware that everything is just not for the people. You understand what I'm saying? This was clearly a business venture for him. Now, whether it turns out to be successful for him or not, we will see next year, because you know, Black Americans, they can collectively hold their dollar, and they can say, hey, if you market to us, or we gonna take our money somewhere. We have seen that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily agree with the gentleman who was saying we all protested Target and we just went over to Costco's. We do have the ability to stop somebody's business and change the market and demand system, the economic system. So I just want to see how it's going to look in 2026. Okay. But yeah, $1 trillion of black owned money was an asset to Essence Magazine.
Yeah. Black Americans in the United States have a $1.4 trillion spending power.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably higher than that. Let me take a quick look. $1.4 trillion spending power. This was written back in 2023, but in the article, the very first paragraph says, in recent years, the buying power of the Black community has risen significantly. According to a 2020 report via CNBC, Black buying power was $1.4 trillion in 2019 and is projected to grow to $1.8 trillion by 2024. So in 2025, it is estimated that the buying power, the spending power of Black Americans in the United States is $1.8 trillion.
Wow.
And so Mr. Dennis is counting in his portfolio access to the 1.8 buying power that Black Americans have. Okay? He wants access to our money. That was my first thought. He wants access to our money. But why are my people complaining about the vibe being off at Essence? Why are my people, Black Americans, upset about this jollof and jambalaya versus contest? Why did it have to be a versus contest? Why are my people complaining about not feeling African American vibes at an African American festival that they have been going to for decades? Well, Mr. Dennis has a plan. Mr. Dennis and the folks over in Nigeria, over in Africa, they've got a plan. And unfortunately, Black Americans are not a part of the plan. I came across this picture post in one of my mutuals comment sections, and I was like, oh my God, where is this from? So I do what I do, and I find out where it's from. It's from this article right here. Essence Ventures and NCAC forge global cultural partnership at Lagos Stakeholder Lunch. The Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, and the Creative Economy. Oh, pause. Black Americans, the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, and the Creative Economy, that's a Nigerian government agency. That's not an American agency, okay? Alongside the NCAC, the National Council for Arts and Culture, that's also a Nigerian organization. And you see Essence Ventures, they co-hosted a luncheon. And at that luncheon, they set the stage for global collaboration of Black culture.
Okay, let me pause right there. So what's wrong with a global collaboration of individuals who look like us? What's wrong with a global collaboration that's going to promote individuals and businesses and culture that of people who look like us, and it's going to introduce us to other cultures? What's wrong with that? Do we as African Americans feel like this is ours and it belongs only to us, and that we only need to be celebrated during this time, during this festival? I mean, I'm just asking an honest question, and there's no right or wrong answer. Do we feel that way? As an African American, do we feel like we own African, that we own the Essence Festival and it's just for us? Or do we branch out and open up our understanding and open up ourselves to welcome in our ancestors' culture, our ancestors' tradition, the knowledge of our ancestors? Do we welcome them in? Can this be a way that we bridge the gap? What is your thinking about that, Scorpio?
I say no.
No?
Nope.
Why?
It's not going to be a total flop. He's going to make some money, but it's not going to be like it was.
So do you feel like African Americans will be so turned off that I think there will be some curiosity to it. I feel like there will be some curiosity to it, and that people will just come to see what it will look like. I'm very interested to see the lineup for next year. What artists he will have. I feel like it's going to be dependent on how it looks with the artist who's going to perform, and the vendoring. Maybe he will take note to the criticism and kind of change the format as far as vendors, performances, and stuff like that. But I know for a fact this man is going to be branching out and bringing in Pan-African influences. And wouldn't that be an interesting thing to see other cultures of Black people? I'm for it. I'm really intrigued. I'm really thinking about, do I want to go? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't live in a box. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna, nothing about this change in this festival, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna change my Black awareness or change how I feel about myself and my people, my culture. No, you have to be, for me, you have to be secure in who you are and what you represent. That's not going to change my imprint and my influence on this earth as an African American. So I just don't understand what the problem is. It's not like we're going to get more respect or less respect from our counterparts who are not Black. They still going to be racist. They still going, some of them still going to disrespect us. Some of them still going to turn their nose up. I feel like two is better than one. So if my sisters from the motherland want to come and celebrate Black awareness with me, I'm all for it.
Well, that's the way it's going to be because they're already here. But we have a choice whether we want to participate or not. And that will open up avenues for us to start something of our own.
So,
if we don't, if we don't want to do that, if we don't want to go, but we're such a going type of people, we're gonna go because we need something to do. So it's not gonna be a total flop, but it's not gonna be like it was.
Okay. All right. So this is her concluding her thought. So let's finish the remainder of it.
All of these people represent Nigeria. Essence Ventures, who owns Essence Magazine, okay, who puts on Essence Fest every year, okay? So we're going to read this article, so you can get a clear understanding of what the plan is. And once you understand what the plan is, then you'll understand why there was no Black American at Essence Fest, why the feel was off, why the vibe was off, okay? On Sunday, let me see, when was this article written? September 19th, 2024. On Sunday, September 15th, the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, and the Creative Economy, alongside the National Council, I got it up on the big screen over here, alongside the National Council for Arts and Culture and Essence Ventures, owner of Essence Festival and Essence Magazine, the premier media, commerce, tech, and experimental company for Black people. That would be Black American people, but yeah, they took out the American and made it Black people, co-hosted a Sunday lunch with industry stakeholders. Now, there's some names, and I apologize if I butcher the names. I'm here to spew facts, not be disrespectful, but I got a Georgia Southern tongue, and it's hard to pronounce these names, okay? Obi Asika represented the minister and the NCAC, the National Council for Arts and Culture, while Essence Ventures was represented by Barkui Tubman, global lead on talent and diasporic engagement. This lunch signifies the kickoff of a partnership between NCAC and Essence Ventures. The National Council for Arts and Culture from Nigeria. It's a kickoff of a partnership between this organization, NCAC, over in Nigeria, and Essence Venture, that's owned by a Nigerian, okay? This lunch signifies kickoff of a partnership between NCAC and Essence Ventures to build a framework with Essence as global knowledge and culture partners for Origins, a core NCAC initiative, and for Destination 2030, Nigeria Everywhere, the global platform of the ministry. The ministry being the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, and the Creative Economy. Okay? Just stick with me. The Essence Festival of Culture, held annually in New Orleans, is the largest festival in America by per day attendance, attracting over 500,000 attendees daily over a 3-day event. Baby, Essence Fest is a time, or was a time. Okay? This lunch signals and recognizes Essence global intent and expansion. Essence, who is owned by Mr. Dennis, a Nigerian, and operated by the CEO, a Kenyan, okay? Essence global intent and expansion, aiming to build a solid foundation for its Black community and bridge the gap with Nigeria as a focal country due to its rich talents, history, traditions, entrepreneurship, heritage, and significant percentage of the Black diaspora. That's it. That's all right there. There's more to the article. I'll put a link somewhere, but you could just Google this and it'll bring up the article. It's an Essence article. Okay, I'm going to read that again. The Essence Festival of Culture, held annually in New Orleans, is the largest festival in America by per day attendance, attracting over 500,000 attendees daily over a 3-day period event. This lunch signals and recognizes Essence global intent and expansion, aiming to build a solid foundation for its Black community globally and bridge the gap, with Nigeria being the focal country due to its rich talents, history, traditions, entrepreneurships, heritage, and significant percentage of the Black diaspora. Black American history, heritage, culture, people is no longer their focal point, Essence Ventures. No longer their focal point. They are moving Black Americans to the side and making Nigeria the source, the country, the focal point. So, if you went to Essence Fest and you're like, the vibe is off, why were they centering African culture? The feeling is different. The air is different. Where were the Black American food vendors? Where were they? Why didn't they get an invite? This is the shift that is happening from Essence Ventures through Essence Magazine. By way, they want Black American money. They want to tap into that $1.4 trillion, but they don't want Black American culture to be the focal point. Now, I know my African brothers and sisters are
So I can see that from just her, reading the article and everything. I can see that. But I don't think that they're here to ostracize or here to push the African Americans out. I don't think that they're here to do that. I think that they want to include their heritage as well. They want their heritage and their culture to be represented also in the festival. I mean, what do you expect? If you own a business, you are going to have some type of reflective attribute or reflective component of who you are in your business, because it's yours. You understand what I'm saying? And so my thing is, that's something that African Americans are going to have to understand. All right. And I'm quite sure that the previous owners of Essence Festival did not foresee this. I'm just going to say allegedly. I don't know what this man told these individuals, why it was sold off to him. I don't know. I honestly do not know, but we're here now. We are here now. And like the lady said, he's Nigerian. The CEO is Kenya. Quite naturally, you're going to see some changes that are reflective of their culture. Now, I just cannot see them doing anything drastic. Thank you for sharing the live, Vaughn. I appreciate this. Y'all support the channel, like, share, and subscribe. Support $CLAYLING. I cannot see them drastically changing the trajectory, because what is the buying power? What did this lady say? $1 trillion. You're going to negate that money from African Americans to implement a more South African footprint in Essence. I don't think they are. I think they're very intelligent. I think they're trying to merge the two. I said, I disagree. I think they are trying to exploit Black Americans, eventually turn it into an African essence. I'm hoping that that's not the case. I said what I said. I'm hoping that that is not the case, because why turn your back on all of this money? The first thing that struck me was understanding that who's in government right now, understanding who our president is right now, and understanding that July 8th there were certain bans put in towards Nigerians, which got me shaking in my boots. You understand what I'm saying? Not a total ban, but there are certain bans on how they can come over here now. You understand what I'm saying? And for a Nigerian entrepreneur, CEO, and owner, all your people can't come over here and support. You know what I'm saying? There is a healthy amount of Nigerians, a healthy amount of South African communities here in the United States, but it ain't nowhere near as much as African Americans. That is the foundation and the support system of Essence Festival, right? So I cannot see him totally turning off his marketing from us to South Africans. I can't see that, because first of all, they can't get over here, because they done put in a whole new slew of bans. against Africans. So who coming to support us? So I can't see him totally excluding us out. I think this may be an effort to say, hey, this is one aspect of Black awareness, Black culture, Black people in general. This is where I'm hoping he goes. But if it is the case that he's trying to ostracize or trying to disassociate the African community, then yeah, there may be some backlash. The number's probably going to go down. The support is probably going to go down. There's not going to be there's not going to be any successful vendors. You know, the imprint is going to look different. And so, and even this year, they say, yeah, it looked different. The vibe was kind of different. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. But this whole notion of that this is ours, we got to get that out of our head. We have to get out, because at the end of the day, behind the scenes, it's all about green and not Black. It's all about what makes sense as far as green and not Black. This man saw opportunity. Hey, sweet Rita, I send nothing but love your way because you deserve it. This man saw opportunity and he took it. And African Americans allow him to take it. They gave it to him. He bought it. Africans don't like Black Americans. Most of them, most of the times, they look down on us. I have heard that countless of times. I've heard that. I have heard that. I've heard that. And I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. However, yes, we are so glad that you're home, sweet Rita. And I'm so glad. What did I say? Y'all better come on up and hear some. What did I not say, sweet Rita? You about to make me stop my live. What did I say, sweet Rita? Didn't I say you was coming up out of there? Didn't I tell you that? All praise be to Jesus. Ain't nobody playing no games. You know, I understand that. You just say, come on, somebody. Yeah, ain't nobody playing. What you missed? So, okay, let me digress for a minute. Vaughn, what you missed was I found out that Sweet Rita was in the hospital. I didn't know it. I didn't know that she was in the hospital. I said, why y'all didn't tell me earlier? You see what I'm saying? So, of course, I went into prayer mode. And I told her, you coming out. What did I say tomorrow? I don't want to lie. Did I tell you it was coming out the next day? I don't know. You know, but the Bible says the effectual fervent prayers of the righteous man availeth much. Okay? And clearly she at home. All right? So listen, I'm hoping that that's not the case. I am very intrigued and interested to see how this is going to look. I did? Okay, cool. That's what I say. We ain't playing no games over here. I'm very interested to see how this is going to look next year. I'm hoping that this is going to embark on something that's wonderful, that is a cultural blend like never before, and that we will be a force to reckon with. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to see divide. I honestly don't want to see divide. I don't want this to divide what Essence represents. I don't want to see it. Don't you know that African Americans have so many inflections of colors, so many flakes and palettes of colors, so much culture? I mean, come on. Yeah, we're African Americans, but you must know that we derived from somewhere else other than America. We can, for me, and I'm not going to speak for nobody else. I'm going to only speak for me. We cannot neglect. And it may be, and they may look down at us as dogs, you know what I'm saying? As not true Africans. But for me in my house, and I'm only speaking from my experience. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to neglect my heritage. I'm not, and if I got to kick the door in and say, listen, I'm one of y'all. Y'all over here living a life and y'all got y'all visas and y'all green cards. You're one of us. You experiencing the American dream just like I am. And I'm saying, let's exchange cultures. That's what I'm saying. And if we got to force this thing, then okay. Because at the end of the day, it's us against them. And I'm not talking about African Americans. I'm talking about African Americans, Africans, and everybody else in the world. Because they put us in the same box. It just happened over in oh God, was it in Asia? It was a representation of Nigerians there who was scamming folks, who was doing all type of crazy stuff, and they thought that they were African Americans. They thought they were just regular old black people. So it don't really matter, because if our skin look like this, they're gonna put us all in the same box anyway. That's what, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, get over it. My ancestors got on the boat and yours didn't. But at the end of the day, we all being persecuted. So, I mean, I'm really intrigued to see how this works out. I want to see how it goes. Are we truly going to turn our backs on it because of the Pan-African experience that they want to implement in there? Or are we going to embrace our brothers and sisters? I wanna see. Now, if it is some type of haterade, if it is some type of we ain't feeling y'all African Americans, if it is something y'all ain't really African, then okay, we will see that. But I want to see it play out before we just go ahead and try to boycott. How you go? I mean, okay, maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just not seeing it. But you gonna boycott the only major black thing going once a year? We boycotting our own selves at this point. Because what? Somebody who has a heavier dialect or is running things now, or come on. I want to see you. I ain't gonna go down that road. I'm not gonna even go down that road. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy to me. And in this time and in this climate and in this government, we need to be banding together. That's how I feel. We ain't got time to spare not one black individual, wherever you come from. We need to be banding together. I really want to see how he merges this. I want to see how it goes. I really do. All right, let's see what this lady had to say.
Between Black Americans and Africans in the African diaspora, this is for you. But first, my name is Asia, and I'm sharing the news that you didn't know you missed. And this is going to be culturally related to the African diaspora. So let's dive into this discourse. But one favor, this is how I get my porch content. I'm an activist, organizer, and content creator, and I focus on real storytelling, journalism with society, culture, and more. So your support on clicking this link on this page will help me. I posted a video kind of just talking about Essence Fest and finding out that the majority of the event planners and the creative directors are white. And honey, the comments went crazy, and a lot of people are talking about Black people blaming Africans and Africans blaming and demeaning and being condescending.
Did y'all hear what this woman said? That's why you need to do your research. You sit over here mad at your brother and sister overseas, and the organizers were what? White.
These things are happening in the comments. So I kind of wanted to take a deep dive into the what, the why, and the path forward for us. Black Americans have long lived in the paradox of being both American and other. Some would say citizens without a real citizenship, if you will. That concept naturally has created a unique, cultural identity that kind of has been created from resistance and survival and neglect in a way. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, African immigrants enter the country with a different historical context, right? They want to be here and they have volunteered themselves to migrate here, to build a life here, like many. Now, African immigrants have a different relationship to whiteness than Black Americans, which both are valid, both are true. And this is why we're going to get into this conversation further. This is just some historical background on where Black Americans and African immigrants stand in the same place, yet differently. Now, this is just some personal and historical background from my own experiences, from things that I've read, from people that I know. I have a lot of African friends and a lot of Black friends, and we talk about these things, and I think it's important. I think the conversation is... Now, please know I understand the Black experience and the African experience is not a monolith. This is just my take and my 2 cents into the conversation. Like and share and comment for part 2, and let's start this conversation because we're going to get more into the core of this centuries-long.
Okay, I'm trying to get to the part 2. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get to the part 2. See, now I can't get to the part 2.
Have you been paying attention to...
I can't get to the part 2. I don't know what the part 2 is. But essentially, I shared that because I wanted you all to understand. While we are all arguing, when I say arguing, while we are all... You said, Vaughn, I'm going to give you my info as soon as I want to do something. Okay. So while this is... And I'm going to say this, and I don't want y'all to get mad. While this is being orchestrated, I need y'all to really think outside the box, okay? While this is being orchestrated for us to have some type of enmity between South African, Pan-African individuals because of Essence Festival is looking different. Other cultural, other ethnic groups are benefiting from it. Did you hear this woman said that that most of the event planners for Essence Festival were white? For your birthday? Did you hear that? I'm telling y'all right now, this is how I feel, and I'm feeling like, listen, our energy is being is moving in the wrong direction. We boycotting the wrong thing. Okay. If anything, we should be saying, hey, Dennis, Mr. Owner, Miss CEO, can we have Black ownership, Black vendors, Black planners, Black performances, Black hosting? Can it be all Black? If it's truly for us? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is being orchestrated. We need every Black hand on deck, whether you holding a kente cloth or whatever. We need all Black hands on deck. This ain't the time to be boycotting one another. So what you saying about, so you believe they are trying to turn us against? Yes. Yes. I truly believe that. Do you understand? Now, do you understand how how big Africa is? Can you understand? Why do you think that Lord help me. Why do you think that they are banning so many South African countries from coming into the United States of America? Do you know how many of us are over there? Do you know if they become a voting power over here, it will be trouble? Why are they trying to keep all of these South African countries from the United States? I'm I'm looking at them like, hey, y'all the reserves, y'all the bag up. We need y'all over here. Child, they are trying to take everything from us, our culture, to our rights. They are. They are. They are. I said what I said. They most definitely is. They are. And that's why we need all the help that we can get. I just can't get with the whole let's boycott this black man because we don't like the fact that he's bringing South African influences into a come on. Like, listen, at some point we need to grow up. Half of us ain't fully African American. Let's be clear. We ain't 100% black. You understand what I'm saying? This is the melting pot of the world. We walking around with afros and no for. Listen, my family is part Blackfoot Indian and is part, and the majority of my ancestors are Irish. You know what I'm saying? Our family had enough sense to do our own ancestry and not know ancestry.com, but these are accounts that go back way back from individuals that were in slavery. Our forefathers, we have our family is a big family, and so there were reporters who interviewed our great grandmothers, and they were telling the reporters about slaveries and slavery. I mean, and we get all of that documentation, and we researched all the way back to Ireland. Most of my ancestors come from Ireland. Do you understand what I'm saying? Most of my ancestors are Ireland, are Irish. So nobody's walking around here 100% black. You know, so I just want us to understand what is really happening on the bigger scale. We're gonna boycott this man who look like us for what? Because he's trying to bring in some influences from other people who look like us. Yeah, my family is the Waters clan out of Ireland. I got the paperwork. I got the genealogy. I got it. And I love my family because we like that. We do our research. You understand what I'm saying? That's why my temper is on 10. You understand what I'm saying? We need to expand our horizon and broaden ourselves to understand that it is us against them. And they trying to get us to be us against this black man. First of all, they and y'all know who I'm talking about, they don't like the fact that this man has amassed such an asset. If you look at all of our black networks, most of them are owned by white folks. And so you wonder why certain influences and certain things and certain content is allowed in those mainstream medias. It is because they're trying to change the narrative of our community, and they're doing a bang up job doing it. And we just following along under the influence in a fairy tale land, in a fairy tale fall that we supporting our culture. No, you're supporting the narrative that they are feeding us. Most of our hip hop and most of our music and most of our Black African culture as it relates to the industry is owned by white folks and been owned by white folks for decades. And every influence, every fad, every trend, every verbiage, the music, how it's played, how it's disseminated is from a white man. But we won't go over there and support what's that rapper name? What's his name? Oh my God, what is his name? He got all type of chips and stuff. What is his name? I can't. He was trying to push. He was trying to build a brand. And we clowned him because he had cereal and chips and stuff. We made fun of him. But he was black owned through and through. What Master P? You said I want Essence Festival to be all black, everything leaves everybody else out of it. But do you understand? I said what I said, that yeah, he may be from Africa, but he's also black. You know what I'm saying? Now the issue I do have with him is that, okay, it felt this way, the way the programming was, because you had white programmers and they don't have a clue in how to entertain and host us. That's just how I feel. They ain't 100% tapped into the culture because they don't understand the culture. So why would you have them do programming? Now that I do have a problem with. Do you understand what I'm saying? They don't know what would be entertaining, and they won't know what would have what would be enjoyable for our culture, because they just simply are not tapped in enough. They may look at some videos and research our culture and say, oh, they think they know. You know what I'm saying? But they really don't. They're going to give us a snapshot of what they think they know about us. You said, I understand, but Africans think they are better than us. So black Africans only. Okay, but can you agree that not all African American not all African Americans think that? Now, I'm not saying African Americans, but not all South American African Americans think that. The Scorpio Mama says that I guess everybody will gain. I guess everybody will be going to boots on the ground now. See? And do we really want to do that? I mean, to each his own. What if this man, and I'm just saying because I don't know this man, I don't know his thinking. What if this man is really trying to paint a picture of unity between the two? What if something about the African American community is appealing to him and he wants to just introduce his culture? Because at the end of the day, he's going to do what he want to do because he owns it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said I'm really interested. I know where my thinking is, but I really want to see how it looks next year. I said what I said. No disrespect. I understand, and you have every right to have your opinion. You do. You have every right to have your opinion. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I would rather put all my chips behind someone that looks like me than someone who I know for a fact is against me and don't want to see me thrive, and don't want to see us as a collective, and do not want to see us organized, and don't want to see us, period. You know what I'm saying? I want to put my support behind that. But the fact that this man is including his own personal culture in his own thing, I don't think that he should be boycotted. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like he's doing anything wrong. This is America, where you have that boardwalk, that monopoly, where you can assess that you can possess things, and you can change things as you see fit, especially if you're the owner and the entrepreneur. And it's just a shift. It's a shift, but hey, everybody has a right to put their dollar wherever they want to put their dollar. You say all skin folks aren't kin folks, unfortunately. No, they're not. No, they're not. All skin folks are not kin folks. Scrub Ma said, I'm going to have a pink boot. You going to have pink boots. You going to the boots on the ground, Vaughn? You know? They're not. And then so my thing is, what is African American? What is African American? What is African American? We are descendants from Africa. Our descendants were in Africa when we were enslaved over here. However, there are so many different nationalities mixed into our genealogy. There ain't nobody 100% black. You know, and I'm the type of person, I'm very interested and inquisitive of my origin. You know, and it's okay. And I identify as African American. I do. But to me, that is all inclusive of my brothers and sisters abroad. See, whether they accept me or they don't. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see, because right now everybody talking big talk. We talking big talk of how, you know, they're gonna boycott this man. They don't like it. They don't like it. We don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want it. What do you not want? What do you not want? And then what is the expectation? This man is not going to neglect his heritage because we don't want it. He ain't gonna do that. So it's like to each his own. You know, now to each his own. Or some other billionaires gonna have to erect something else for African Americans to go to. That's just it. I guess it's the boots on the ground, which that ain't African American. I'm sorry. It's a trend. I said what I said, can we go to Africa and own their businesses and invite Black American to perform? Absolutely. And they do. There's a whole collective of African American individuals, doctors and lawyers who are building their own neighborhood over there in Ghana as we speak. And I hope I don't mess this up, but the Ghanaian government has extended grants and contracts to them. They building their own little neighborhood over there. They all gonna move over there. They selling Ghanaian land like they selling it for you $50,000. You can get you a mansion built over there. And yeah, so you know that all our R&B artists, they go over there. Chris Brown just tore up Nigeria. Just tore it up with Torn. Because, you know, of course, he was ostracized and blackballed or whatever. He went over to Africa and cleaned up. The only reason why I know this is because my husband think he is Chris Brown. That's the only reason why I know this. You know what I'm saying? And cleaned up. And he started partnering with African artists and he's been touring. It says we got to get away from turning the other cheek. Y'all get out of the Old Testament. What did you talk about? Turn the other cheek. Okay, I understood what you saying, Scorp. You said that's been our problem. I'm serious. My husband think that he is Chris Brown. At one point, he had dyed his hair blonde. I was like, bro, that is my favorite artist. I mean, he had posters, you know. I'm like, bro. But they are very affectionate when it comes to their celebrities and people who they idolize and stuff. You know, they be running and crying and stuff and trying to take pieces of their hair and clothes and stuff, you know. But everybody know in the industry that you do your time over in Africa, you know what I'm saying, and market to them people. Now allegedly, and I'm just saying allegedly, Beyonce, half her dance moves are stolen from African youth. That's allegedly, and I've heard that in pop culture or whatever. I don't know to be true, but allegedly. So now here, but so this has been happening where they African Americans have been going over there, and Americans in general have been going over there doing business in Africa. However, I feel like Trump is trying to put a stop to that. You saw how he brought those white South Africans over here. They didn't have to go through no immigration process. He just gave them instant citizenship and brought them over the time they was being assaulted and their life was in danger, but they had been over there for all their life, but they were just white South Africans. So there is a racist between South African and blacks over there, and he just brung them on over here because they were in fear of their life. Did you see that? But you're gonna make it hard for every black person that look like us that want to come over here and build a life. You putting bans. You understand what I'm saying? So there is an agenda in place. But they are doing big business and thriving. Not only are they doing big business in Africa, but they are also doing big business in Asia, cleaning up. I'm telling y'all right now, I have just since I've been married and just doing my research and just taking note. We think we got it made over here and that we're thriving. When I have realized that other cultures in other countries are truly thriving, they are not as oppressive as the United States is to their citizens. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Look, I can drive over to Canada. They got free health care over there for their people. We are truly running a rat race over here. Work, home, working home, working home, working home, bills, work, home. Like I told y'all, what my husband pay in leasing once a year, I pay every month. There's freedom. Now, Nigeria is also, I will say, a very hard place to live because there's corruption in the government. However, Africa in totality, you can thrive there. You most definitely can thrive. And I feel like the powers that be don't want you to know that. Not just Africa, though. Asia, Europe, thriving. The economy is and it's an illusion. It is propaganda for us to think that we are thriving over here and we got a better life. These people are thriving in other cultures, and they don't have the stress of when you go and what was it, Bangladesh or Bangkok, one of them. When you go and become a citizen over there, they give you a stipend for an apartment. They give you a year's worth of financing to get on your feet until you can support yourself. Off rip. Americans, I ain't gonna lie. It be some stressful situation trying to do this and do that. I'm like, can we get some help from our government to whom we pay much taxes to? No, because they're too busy being divisive. It is us against them. I promise y'all. You said they had told, oh, okay. You talking about something else. It is us against them. I promise you. And the division is there. That's why the African Americans are in an uproar. This is ours. This is ours. The whole time. No, and you think this is yours. It's been yours for decades. No, it hasn't. It ain't never been ours. It may be some black faces at the top, but it ain't never been ours. It's been what the powers may be wanted you to think it was. You said, I said what I said, and Scorpio Mama needs Snickers. No, I think they just have an opinion. That's cool. Shout out to Scorpio Mama who called me this morning and said, get your blankety blank up and get on that bike. And I did. I got up. So I have given assignments to my subscribers, Vaughn. So it is Scorpio Mama's job to get up and put some fire behind me so that I can go ahead and lose these pounds that I have amassed. Because I'm getting ready to go to Nigeria. So it's her job. And she's been on it. I said what I said. I said, I don't need no Snickers. She don't need no Snickers. I feel her. I mean, I can understand it. She wanted to be, the way it's been. She wanted to be Afrocentric. I get it. I totally get it. And it's one of those things where we just got to wait and see how it's going to be. We just have it's going to be a waiting game. We're going to see how this man performs. Because the Essence Festival was marketed as a situation, and then, to be honest, it was marketed for Black women, you know what I'm saying, to come together to promote the African American individual and all that person encompasses, as far as music, beauty, family, cultural. Yeah, it did. And it was that way for years. But you better believe that certain narratives were disseminated throughout that, the magazine and all that, for years. And so now we here. And that Nigerian man said, y'all getting ready to see a little bit of our culture now. And we're saying we ain't feeling it. We're not feeling it. So where we gonna go? Is Jet Magazine coming out with a festival? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how this is going to look. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Is Oprah gonna come out with an old festival? I don't know. So if we're not gonna support this dude, what are we gonna do? Because if we don't support this dude, do we do we disperse and not come together, not push something? Not push an agenda? What are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? So again, I want you to step back and look at the bigger picture. Us boycotting and not showing up and not coming together, who does that benefits? Do it benefits us in satisfaction of saying, hey, look at what our buying power, look what we can do? Or does it benefit those who are against any Black individual? To each his own. To each his own. We shall see. But yeah, they ain't having it. Our people showing up ain't having it.
Originality. So yes, whatever it is, if you're African, go back to Africa and connect to your source. Thank you.
This is an example of why many people feel the way that they do. She has not once acknowledged Black American culture. That's disheartening because Essence Festival is specifically for Black Americans. We're welcoming of all communities, but why can't we get any shine or recognition or acknowledgement for what this festival was meant for? There's no disrespect, once again, to anybody that's African or Caribbean. Love everybody in the Black diaspora. A lot of people that are native to New Orleans have spoken up and said that this display of the Essence Festival is a disrespect to what they've grown up to know it to be. A lot of local vendors that have produced a lot of great food are not showing up there, so people are not actually getting the New Orleans experience. And it's, once again, no disrespect. It's just with our experience as Black Americans, we don't get a lot of opportunities to just celebrate the work that our ancestors have done and what we are contributing to our future. And that's where a lot of people are finding the imbalance, because we're being so respectful of everybody that come into our neighborhoods, into our environments. There's a lot of things that could be looked at as negative, but we got to start calling it out. It's not no disrespect. It's just our truth. And as Black Americans, we have the right to feel however we feel. And it's no disrespect. I just want you guys to take yourselves out of your shoes and look at it from our lens. But this is something that we had to experience from our ancestors in present day. That's it. There's no hatred for anybody.
Culture means earth, motherland, Africa, originality. So yes, whatever it is, if you're African, go back to Africa and connect to your source. Thank you.
This is an example.
Okay, so the lady said, that if you're connected to the earth, go back to Africa, connect with yourself, Africa. Now I will say I feel like that there was some type of that she was being condescending a little bit, and just saying, this is how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And I do agree to some point. What the gentleman was saying that African Americans historically we have been just accepting of other cultures in the hopes that oh, we can be friends. I know I am. I know I'm guilty of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm guilty of, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm very, inclusive. You know what I'm saying? For one, the last organization I worked for was the YMCA. I sat on the committee of non-biases practices and policies. We put policies in place for the YMCA to be more inclusive, and it was our job to come up with policies and strategies and programming that would make the community feel welcome. Being a member of the YMCA. So we would meet, and the chair was a black man and was a white woman. Now the black man went on to bigger ventures, and so it left just the white woman there. I was the only black. I was the second. I was two black individuals on that committee, and so it will be some kind of way. It was left up to me to bring us together so that we can meet. You know what I'm saying, and do some type of programming and scheduling and ideals, what we can do and stuff like that. And my other counterparts just stopped showing up to the meetings. And I was thinking, wow, because I came in with the notion in all sincerity, like, oh, we can band together and it's going to be cool. We're going to be setting things up. And I had an ideal where the YMCA can be a hub for parents who were struggling with custody. Like it could be a drop-off place, a meeting place, instead of going to the police station. Because I had an experience in my classroom where a student came up to me and said they had to go to the police station. I'm like, why? He was like, that's where I see daddy, at the police station. And that thing broke my heart. I'm like, they need a more safe environment where they can go see their daddy instead of the police station. So I brought this up in a meeting. You know what I'm saying? And it was a good idea. You know what I'm saying? So things like that. And they just stopped showing up. I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of showed me his eye, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so I initially kind of removed myself off the committee because it was becoming a bit much. But a black woman is the head of that department. A black woman is to this day. And she kind of brought me in because she was like, this will be really good for you, or whatever. So I am guilty of just thinking that everybody wants to play fair or want to be a part of the team. I am guilty of that. You know what I'm saying? I really am. You said they like to decide and conquer. Yeah, they do. Divide and conquer. Is that what you was trying to say? Sport? They do. All right, let's take a listen.
When they turned the conversation because of Target and Caroline, your CEO's past involvement with Target, they turned it into a Black American versus Black African conversation, and that whole thing exploded. Of like, Essence is losing its focus on Black Americans.
Yeah, I mean, those are one of the. I mean, I'd love to hear how you guys think about that, but that's one of those ones that I struggle with understanding intellectually, right? For a host of reasons. Let's just talk about the actual facts, right? So we had, 40 plus acts and performers, right? We had one Jamaican act, performer Buju, and we had one African performer, Davido, right? That to me doesn't say that we're losing our center, right?
Now this is the owner. This is Dennis talking
on African American culture, right? And on Black women. That's our center. That doesn't mean we can't expand out from our center. All it means is we can't lose our center. So if you were on the ground, if you were there, you see that center is very much there, right? You go into the convention center, right? You look at what happened on the stages. You look at what happened. If you were there, you know that we're still centered, right? But if you were there, you also know that we're growing and that we're broadening, because everybody has to grow or broaden. Otherwise, you won't be around, right? There's also sort of the philosophical approaches to this is I view myself as Black. I've benefited from being Black, and I have also lost from being Black. When I walk in the room, what people see, if they don't know me, when I walk in a room, I walk down the street, they see a Black man, right? My entire life has been dedicated to uplifting Black. I focused it on the economics, on the economic side of Black, because that's what I know how to do. That's what I'm skilled at. The thing that I've learned from that is we're much better off when we're focused on our commonalities and we're building on those commonalities. As I said earlier, I grew up, King, Garvey, Lumumba, right? That the thinking around, hey, we have a much better chance of developing and growing our communities when we find the commonalities and the alignments, and we're working towards shared goals and shared objectives. When we don't do that, we become much smaller, right? And much more volatile and much more vulnerable.
I can't even believe you took the time to explain that. If
If
me, Buju Banton, and DeVito are walking down the street and a white supremacist see us, guess what he see? Black niggas.
That's it.
What are we talking about here?
How did you feel when they turned the conversation because of Target and
So did you guys hear that? And I agree with him. We need to be focusing on our commonality instead of what's different about us. And I love the fact that he said it makes us smaller when we don't do that. It makes us smaller. And he's telling you out of his own mouth, we will not lose our center. And he said exactly what I said. They originally were focused on the Black woman and Black culture. This is coming from the horse's mouth. And he also said, if you do not broaden your horizon, you will not be around. Everything changes. It changes with the current. It changes with the flow. It changes with society. We must keep up. African American businesses and influences are slowly spilling over into the Western cultures. You have to know that and see that. It's all about maturity for me. We always want to just play in our own sandbox, but can't seem to unite to get nothing really done. And I know I'm telling the truth. Let's take this same energy and build one another up and support one another and support other businesses and really get something done for real, for real. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. We so bent out of shape because this man got African descent in the culture. Vaughn said setup. Do you think it's a setup? He said, we're not going to lose our focus. It will always be the center. However, we are going to expand. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's look at the imprint of Essence. I'm quite sure, yes, they have done some things in the community. They've done things. Okay, but is it a global imprint? No. Now it will be. That's all I'm saying, people. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. And yeah, I love what he said. I love what he's saying. If we focus on commonality, that will make us bigger and not smaller. You understand what I'm saying? Do y'all get that? Do y'all at least kind of sort of understand? You know what I'm saying? If you focus on that, it's going to make us larger. If I'm telling you, if we had millions of people migrate over here from the motherland, we would be stronger in entrepreneurship, in voting, whatever. But right now, as a people, we losing. And we worried about this festival, this little festival over here. But we are losing big time. This government is for people who do not look like us and who got way more money than we do. And they trying to shape America to look like it used to look when we were not a people. And I just don't want to see that. That's scary to me. So yeah, you want to come over here? We need backup. Now, the real question, and I'm getting ready to wrap it up. The real question is, will they let this man thrive? That's the real question. Will the gatekeepers let this man thrive? Will he allow this Pan-African experience explode here in America? Will they allow it? Or will they disseminate division? Will there be a violent incident during the festival to make people feel like it's unsafe to go? Will they put some type of regulations to ban the experience and how it is normally function? Because you know they like to tear things down that are organized for us. And now you trying to bring in other people that look like us. You trying to bridge Nigeria where y'all see Trump can't stand Nigeria. And the reason why some counterparts, people don't look like us, they don't like Nigerians, is because back in the day, and even now, and even it has gotten more prevalent, the Nigerian men, they manipulated and scammed our white counterparts. A lot of them. And they didn't like it. They don't care about them scamming us. But it's when they scam them. It's when they say, oh no, we got to put the brakes on this. And now we see all of these bans against our people from coming over here. That's all I'm saying. Just think outside the box. And you probably say, no, Queen, I ain't trying to hear that crap. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. But my takeaway from his video was, let's focus on our commonality instead of our division. And we will get, but guess what? We do that within the African American community. We do that. There's colorism. Any kind of way that they can divide us as a people, they're going to do it. And they have done, and they're doing it. That's all I'm saying. Just look at the big picture, y'all. Look at the big picture. That man said he ain't trying. He's not trying. All right. Okay, so guys, listen, I hope that you guys enjoyed the live. I do know that I believe SBK is live, y'all, tonight. So let's go support him. You said I'm willing to entertain your way of thinking a little bit. Thank you. I said what I said. You done made me smile. You done made me feel good. You done made me feel good about this live. Because I'm like, wait, hold on. So the thing is, I said what I said. I just want us to hold up before we start beating our drum and holding our picket signs and taking our money. Let's think about the bigger picture. You understand what I'm saying? This is what they want. They want to bring this man down a notch because he done tapped into money. And I'm going to tell y'all something right now that y'all probably don't want to believe. But the wealth and the mineral wealth that Nigeria and Africa has surpasses anything that the United States has. It's just that there is corruption over there. And they getting it all to themselves. But one of the richest men in the world is a Nigerian. See, it ain't about color. It's about, well, it is about color. It ain't about culture. It's about currency. If the floodgates and the borders were open to Pan-African individuals, do you know the type of money that will come through here? Everybody ain't broke outside of the United States. Every province and state in continent in Africa ain't broke. Johannesburg is filthy rich. And for this man to collaborate with the Nigerian ministry government, they're looking their eye at that. That's wealth right there. That's money. I know what I'm talking about. I did a show on the corruption in Nigeria. There was a politician who had a shack. Outside it looked like a shack, but inside it was luxury. In every file cabinet, every box was full of cash. Cash was piled to the ceiling. It's money to be had. Scorpio Mama said, just a matter of time, criminals going to come out and to invade because they are hungry. Yep. And Kenya, yes. What did I miss? Hey, LaQuita, you coming in late in the mug. I'm almost about to wrap the show up. Do you hear what I say? That's why I say step outside the picture. Oh, we're going to beat our drums. We're going to band against this man. We're going to hype it up. It's going to be spilled to all of the urban social media outlets that we look at, like the Breakfast Club and all of these, and TikTok. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be spilled out to that, this narrative that let's turn away from this African man who's trying to broaden his horizon. We're going to all go against this man because it ain't African American. Ain't nothing African American. What did the man say? The programmers was white for the Essence Festival. BET ain't black entertainment. It's owned by white men. The rap music and the hip hop music and the artists that we knew, they're owned by white people. That's why every chance I get, I go get me something by Master P. Little baby, go get their chips and stuff. Give them something. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? I'd rather be in the bush hiding with somebody that look like me from Africa than with somebody that don't look like me. We're going to band together. It's what we're going to do. I mean, it only takes a look-see. And if the whole vibe, I want to see 2026, and the whole vibe is we ain't really accepting y'all. We're going to take this conglomerate and we're going to make it our own, and it's going to be inclusive to just a native African American, African individual, African blacks, and we don't really want y'all here, then yeah, okay. Then that's going to be an issue because you here in the United States. You need to move it over to Africa. You understand what I'm saying? That will be my attitude if that is going to be the case. But I'm going to do a look-see first. Come on. Come on. Do you hear what I say? Nobody's saying that. And this is one thing. This is one thing that I agree with Trump with. Y'all done brought all of these people over because America is what? We want to help y'all. Y'all brought them over here. Y'all didn't do no background check. And they over here robbing and killing grandpas and grandmas. They here robbing. You don't bring a whole slew of cartel individuals, allegedly. And this is covered by the 101 section of Copyright Act provides statutory framework determining whether something is fair use, identifies with certain types of uses such as criticism and comments and news reporting. They over here tearing New York up. saying? But y'all, let's change the focus of that to y'all better go against this black man who try to bring other black people into the business. Queen had to run when she went there. Yeah, I did. Kidnappers did. You said they're taking them people's stuff now. Yeah. Kidnappers chased us down the road in 2 cars. They did. And thank God that my husband, because my husband was definitely sick. When I say definitely sick, I'm not gaslighting. No, he was slow. He told me, he said, I was dying on the inside. He was losing consciousness. That's how sick he was. And I'll never forget, we were riding down the road. And it was a dangerous road. And I put the road up on my community wall so y'all can see how dangerous this road was. And he began to lose consciousness while he was driving. And I screamed his name. To be honest, I think I got a video on my community wall of me screaming his name. Because I was saying, I saw you go to sleep. I think I put that video up a long time ago. It was up there. I screamed his name. I said, Bryson. He said, what? I said, you lost consciousnness. He was like, no, I said, yes, you did. And at that very moment, he looked at his rearview mirror and saw that they had begun to start to chase us down the road. And 3 people had died on that road like a month prior to that. Because they do sacrifices around November and December and stuff like that. And when he looked in his rear view mirror, and I know this was God because the boy was sick. He was losing consciousness driving, and because we were trying to make it to the village to his mama's house. This boy became alert like this and took off. And when I tell you the roads got craters the size of small cars, when I tell you he can drive. My baby can drive. He was 100 miles an hour. When I tell you he went so fast and he made some type of turn and went through a valley or something, I don't know, honey. By that time, he came back and he stood and we stood idle in the middle of the road and we looked back and they had lost us. They didn't know where we was and they went and turned the other way. They had begun to pursue us. Oh, hallelujah. I feel the presence of God. And we made it to his grandmother's house. So when I tell you, yeah, the corruption is real, kidnapping is real, it is very violent because yes, they are. Everybody's hungry. I told y'all what happened in the airport. My husband said, remember, everybody's hungry there. And when that police officer had to sit with me because they knew I was American until Bryson got there, I began to offer them food. Good night, I said what I said because I think SBK is live and I am getting ready to go over there and support. I began to pass some snacks. And that grown man put that snack in his pocket and sat with me. He was in a uniform because he was hungry. And my kindness and generosity is what got me out of that airport. And getting ready to do it again. I'm sorry because I miss my husband. You understand what I'm saying? So it is very much so real. But they're doing it because they have been oppressed. And let's be clear, the man is collaborating with the ministry over there, which the ministry equates to the government in our terms, not the people. If you want to take that as a negative, you know what I'm saying? But that's where the money at is with the politicians. The politicians send their kids over here to get an education. Go on my channel and go find Nigeria. That show I did on Nigeria and the corruption. And you will see it all. It's right there. You will see it all. I'm starting to sweat. All right, people, we're going to go. I think SBK is live. I'm not for sure. Let me check. I want y'all to go over there. Somebody, one of my moderators, if you're in here, I want y'all to put the link to his channel so that I can go and subscribe and support. And I was getting ready to say, let me see. I ain't seen Lionel Big Head Self and I ain't seen Urban. Why am I sweating, man? Y'all know I had went through a bout of sickness a couple of hours ago. I don't know if this is my body flushing it out or whatever, but I had really got sick. I had to, y'all saw I had pushed it so bad. Okay, let me see. Well, let me see what's going on. Is SBK live, y'all? Y'all tell me, is he live? Let's see. Oh, he is. Okay, y'all go to SBK Real Talk. I'm about to head myself over there. Woo! I don't know what's going on. Oh, Jesus. This is menopause. Maybe I'm having a heat flash. Thank you. I said what I said. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, it's your Queen Clayleen saying be great. For those that are coming in on replay, I said nothing but love your way because you don't. Remember to do something nice to somebody. If it ain't nothing but a smile, if it ain't nothing but a wave, it ain't nothing but opening up the door for them, or say, here go a little bit of money on your groceries. You know what I'm saying? Do something. Today, I went out and I went and prayed for individuals right there at Glory Supermarket in Highland Park, Laquita. And I laid hands on people and gave them Christian literatures and prayed for, people was telling me what they needed from God. And, I heard all type of stories today and we just came together. Do something nice because guess what? It comes back to you. Support the channel, like, share, and subscribe. If you want to be a monetary blessing, this is good ground. People, when you bless me, when you bless this channel, you get blessed. And it's been happening over and over again. I just got a text from somebody say, hey, I need to be a blessing to your channel because I need another gig. I done got 5 gigs. You know what I'm saying? God is blessing. It ain't so much you giving me money, is that you're blessing the ground. You're blessing the foundation. And the Bible says you reap what you sow. Okay? All right. This is your Queen Clayleen saying be great. Bye-bye.